It's time to check your money with your friendly neighborhood advisor. Michael Jennings, or Mike Jennings, is a wealth advisor with Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial member SIPC. Mike Jennings, what you got for us today?
Yes, sir. How you doing, George? First of all,
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Always good to hang out with you, the friendly
yeah.
neighborhood advisor.
How was your? I haven't seen you since Father's Day. How was it?
No, Father's Day was great. The family took care of me. I have a nice little toy to play with when I go into the backyard to lay out and stretch out. If you know what I'm talking about, I got a hammock, my brother.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to putting that together. It's actually came, and so we're getting ready to put together. But it was a lot of. I'm looking forward to just chilling in a minute.
that's good. That's good.
Now, speaking of Father's Day, what you got going on?
Well, listen, it was, Father's Day was a couple weeks ago. Spent some time with the family and my girlfriend's family, and it's just overall a good time. But Father's Day was pretty special this year. As I also got to be celebrated and acknowledged, and I'm happy to say that I will be a father come February.
Yay! Congratulations. Well, we thank you for sharing that news with the Inspiration for the Nation audience. We're excited for you and wish you and your partner the very best
Thank you.
as you go on this journey, which would now explain what you want to talk about today.
Well, going along with that, we've been talking about a lot of things surrounding things like childcare, but we haven't really talked about the hidden costs that start even when you are expecting a child, like me, right? So many people tend to not think about some of these expenses until they get hit with them. All right. So I wanted to cover some of those today. It was a long weekend, and my girlfriend and I, we sat down and we really had a heart to heart, like, all right, we got to talk about some of this that's going on here, right? You know, you got to push the excitement to the side a little bit and be like, all right, well, what do we have going on and what do we got to do? So is that good with you, George?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, all right. So like I said, many people don't really anticipate the cost of care before and after the baby arrives. Actually, George, do you remember those times? What it was like when you and your wife were expecting and going through your childbirth and everything?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. First of all, let's talk about it. There were the getting the room together, right? I mean, there was the whole thing about the room together. You have a baby shower, which supports a lot of that, but also your own thing, getting the room together, the type of crib, getting that stuff together. And then uh, this is one cost you cannot anticipate, but it's a big deal. Pampers or disposable diapers or whatever you're going to use. But you have those are the things that you got to do it, but then when it comes up, you're like, oh my God, I got to get another box of those. So yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Actually, we're gonna cover that a little bit later too, but we can be sure that the cost of some of those things today are even higher, right? So, think about all of the doctor's appointments, think about checkups, the tests, the prenatal vitamins, everything, right? They all can add up quickly when you don't anticipate them, right? So I saw a study from Peterson KFF, which follows a lot of the healthcare data and everything. And it shows that the total cost of having a baby, going through labor, delivery, and everything, um, can average just below $19,000. That includes, like I said, the prenatal care, labor delivery, and postpartum care. Now, the out-of-pocket expenses that people can expect to pay, after insurance does its thing, that can range around 2600 to 3200. So not as much as 19,000, but that's still something that has to be taken care of. And that depends on things like the type of delivery and how long you're in the hospital and making sure baby's healthy and everything. Right. So some things to consider would be to start saving for these costs, right? Don't let them continue to be quote unquote unexpected, all right? Also, check what benefits you're entitled to with your health insurance, right? You will want to utilize all of the benefits there so that you can reduce these costs as much as possible. Actually, fun fact, George, did you know that Medicaid pays for 4 out of 10 births in the US?
Did not know that. That I didn't know that at all. But not surprising, given the amount of births that we have. So that's a fascinating stat.
Absolutely, you know, it says a lot, and you know, we're not getting too political here, but obviously we don't want any legislative things affecting that. That's a very you know, integral part of the future of our country, and
As
you know,
I've said to Vicky, you don't have to be political, but I can. We need
that
to make sure that money is available to take care of the of folks who need it, because while 4 out of 10 people are also that are paid for Medicare Medicaid births, also many of those who are elderly and senior also are dependent on Medicaid for their long-term health care. So don't get it twisted. We need to make sure that Medicaid funding is supported. So that's my editorial. Now yours.
absolutely, absolutely. Another thing I'll throw out there, thanks to the American Rescue Act of 2021, every state, sorry, almost every state so far has extended their postpartum benefit plans for the statewide Medicaid plans. So that's awesome. Wisconsin has to get on board with that. That's the last holdout for whatever reason, but also a great resource for you know, people that, you know, qualify for Medicaid. Now, let's continue before we forget. Let's continue talking about healthcare, right? If you're on a different plan than your partner, you should probably consider which plan the baby is going to be covered under. Um, you know, whether, you know, you're looking at your job, what do you have from your job, or whether you bought your healthcare from the marketplace, you know, one or the other can be, the baby can be covered under one or the other. So also, let's talk about some of the household costs related to having a child. Now, naturally, you can expect almost everything having to do with your home to now have an increased level of expenses. So higher utility bills, right? We're going through a little heat wave right now. I'd definitely be keeping little baby under the AC, everything to keep the baby comfy. The clothes, the toys, the diapers, like you mentioned, you know, that haul that you get from the baby shower can only last for so long. So hopefully, also you're not in a position to where you need more space for your baby. If that is so, then obviously you're looking for a bigger apartment, which comes with higher rent, or maybe a bigger house, which means now you got a new mortgage on the table as well. So you can't really judge generally for everyone. Everybody's situation is different. But when it comes to expanding your family, you got to think about all these different things here.
You do really have to think about that. We're talking some serious money now. So what are other costs people should know about?
There's a lot more I could cover, but I'll leave the people with another thing before we wrap up. So consider the change in your income while all of this is happening, right? So hopefully you're also in a position where you have maternity leave or paternity leave, and that's an option for you. And even then, you know, perhaps you'll need more time off than other parents, right? So can you maintain your household and, you know, this new life with anything less than what you're currently making now? Um, the answer is no. Then obviously some adjusting needs to happen and very soon. Most people want to make sure that they can provide for their children everything that they need plus more.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. It's these are decisions you have to make, and you have to crunch the numbers and make sure that you can get some support. And guess what? If you can use some help in planning out this next stage of your life, then Michael is your friendly neighborhood advisor.
That's right. And you give your friendly neighborhood advisor a call at 315-313-9369 or send me a quick note at michael.jennings@brackensfsn.com.
All right, Michael Jennings is your friendly neighborhood advisor and a wealth advisor at Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC.